Hello, it's Dr. Cortex here, and you're listening to Raw Dogs, one of my favorite podcasts. So keep listening. Who knows what you'll find out?
Hey everyone, welcome to Raw Dogs. This is fun. This is good.
We're here. This is great.
It feels like it's been a while. Definitely a long time since we've had Nick here.
It's been so long, guys.
Yeah,
I missed
man.
you.
Yeah, it's so good that you're back, man.
I'm so sorry. I've changed everything about my life. So
You're skinnier and your hair is longer. I know
I'm
that
a different
much.
version. I have a much more defined mustache.
Well, this part's true, definitely.
I have a baby on the way.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay.
That's
Are you going to name it
thing.
Baby?
I'm not allowed to share the name until Baby exists. So
Baby is a great character from Monkey
sometimes
Ball.
one of my favorites, not my choice, but
Yours is Doctor.
no, it's always I.
II is classic.
I was player one most of the time.
Now,
so.
you might be surprised when that thing pops out. It's not going to look like a little Jeremy. It's going to look like a Laramie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Congratulations, though, dude. That's so cool.
It's more of a gone.
I really appreciate it.
No, that's great.
I'm so excited. We're having a little boy, and with our family dynamic, I'm quite excited.
You should
for
name
that.
him Raw Dog.
I'll
think about it.
I'll consider.
We'll pay you
$100,
$100, and we'll tattoo the baby. When
We'll
it
give
comes
you
out.
every single Raw Dogs podcast for free. The rest of your life.
Yeah. Even the
Dova
Patreon
Kid.
ones.
I mean that's just a straight offer. Anybody that names their child Raw Dog.
We'll send you a poster or something.
I'll write something nice.
My name is Brad. I am one of the Raw Dogs hosts here. This is episode number 54. So very happy to be here. Me personally, I spent 10 days going through COVID and I had to quarantine. I've been
Welcome
learning.
back to other people.
Thank you. It's good to be back. And I spent most of this 10 days with Toshihiro Nagoshi, which we'll be talking about. Who's this handsome guy over here?
It's me, Dylan. I'm back again to, I don't know, raw dog it.
To be excited about this episode.
Oh, I actually found myself being like, I don't know much about this. I played the games, yada, yada. And then sitting around playing it with Brad, I'm like, no, I actually have legitimate
Fond memories.
thoughts about,
and
I have thoughts about how this game works, like its mechanics. And I had the unfortunate, not to spoil too much and go too far, I had the unfortunate chance to play Banana Blitz.
Banana Mania.
Sorry. It should be called Banana Blitz.
Banana Blitz is already a thing.
Oh, it's okay.
And there's also Banana Splits, but we're talking about Banana Mania.
Well, that's like a show, right? The Banana Splits. The show where everyone's in like mascot costumes and they're kind of scary, kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese alike.
I think you're right too. Yeah.
No, that's called the masked singer.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very different thing. It's a theater thing, I think.
That's actually episode 56.
And you just don't know. You just don't know if it's like Sarah Palin under there.
It's just Sarah Palin. It's Sarah Palin every time. Sarah Palin all the way down.
By the way, I heard actually that Sarah Palin was in one of those.
I believe it.
She was on the Masked Singer.
They do unmask them, so I believe
I'm not
it.
And then when they unmask her, the announcer was like, she can see Russia from here.
Today we're talking about the Super Monkey Ball series, which is a series that I have a lot of strong feelings for. I would say adore, but that is not something that could be a blanket statement for the series.
Right.
That's fair.
I am obsessed and enamored with Monkey Balls 1 and 2, and you can throw Deluxe in there as well.
Yes.
Also isolate, I'm enamored by monkey balls.
Yeah.
I mean,
if we just took all the monkeys out of it.
Have you gone to the zoo?
When you are getting
It's his favorite place.
When you're getting your thumbnails ready for this episode, make sure you put Super Monkey Ball when you Google image search, because otherwise you might see other stuff. And I was like, that's impressive. I mean,
Oh, yeah, raw dog monkey.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Maybe don't search that.
Yeah.
No, search it. It's great.
Baby monkey ball.
Oh, yeah. Baby's monkey ball is particularly fast.
But yes, we're talking about the monkey ball franchise today. This is a companion piece to our next episode, which we're going to be discussing the Yakuza series. And when you think of either monkey ball or Yakuza, your next thought wouldn't be to think of the other one. But they are definitely companion pieces because it's what Toshihiro Nagoshi, he made one and then he made the other.
It so makes sense to me, actually, at the end of the day, because, like, that man loves making mini games. And let's be honest, the best parts of his games are mini games.
Now, this is definitely going to become a sore subject for me in the Yakuza episode, and we're not going to get too far into it. But maybe in Monkey Ball, I do really love the mini games, and maybe in Yakuza, I don't.
It depends on the mini game for me completely.
Yeah.
Some of them are good, some of them are not. But
Yeah, no, there's definitely games, and I've only played a handful of Yakuza games. I've played Zero, I played Like a Dragon, and I started on the Kiwami re-release.
the remasters,
Yeah.
not super playable.
It's well,
They are. They are.
But
They are aged.
But we are not talking
Yes.
about Yakuza.
anyways,
Yes, the monkey balls.
great minigames, just like so much fun. And one of my favorite games to put on with a bunch of people that didn't play video games, where it's just like, you can pick this game up. It has 3 buttons and a joystick to control.
Infinite
You
potential.
got this.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, one thing that is super charming about Super Monkey Ball is its playability. It is.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll talk about that in a second. Let's just mention a little bit about Nagoshi. He was born June 17th, 1965. He went and got a degree in movie production, which will become very apparent in the Yakuza series, but not so much in Super Monkey Ball. His first title as designer was Virtua Fighter. He studied under, I think it was Yu Suzuki, who made the Shenmue series. He found his spot at Sega
Famous.
very early with 3D games because he knew camera angles from filmmaking and he knew how to translate stuff to 3D, where a lot of people who were only working in games didn't have a lot of that knowledge. Amusement Vision. After being dissatisfied with how Shenmue went, Nagoshi asked for his own division in Sega, and they gave him Amusement Vision. And one of the very first things that they put out would be Monkey Ball, the arcade game. Now,
Can I just say something real quick about Yu Suzuki?
yeah.
And a lot of creators, especially game creators around this time, is that these days you have to have like a full-blown resume to be like a game director, and you have to know exactly what you're doing. Back then, any fucking schlub wandering off the street, if they pitched the right idea, they'd let them make a video game. It's like Shigesate Itoi as well for the Earthbound series. Those are really the only games technically that they made. And then it's also like Yu Suzuki, who was more concerned with crafting a weird piece of art than anything else in the world. Because if you've played a Shenmue game, well, first of all, I'm sorry. But
you've spent a lot of time.
But you can obviously see that they had a good relationship.
Yeah, and around that time, the CEO of Sega was complaining how expensive it was to make games. And so, kind of as a type of protest, Nagoshi, he wanted to develop a simple game that you just needed one lever to control, something that could be made extremely quickly. So Amusement Vision got together and they made Monkey Ball, partially as an arcade game and partially as a console release when they were designing it initially. It was going to be a Dreamcast game because a lot of the Sega hardware at the time, the arcade games were like designed for the Naomi arcade system, and that translated to Dreamcast very well. But one of my great sadnesses in life is that I've never got to see the actual Monkey Ball arcade cabinet in person. I'm guessing neither of you have as well. I don't think there'd be any in the
There'd be no way.
Midwest.
Wouldn't it be great if it was at MGC, though?
Dude, I would go crazy for that. Do you know, Nick, do you know the joystick that they used for this?
It was a banana joystick.
you actually use the banana to control your monkey for it.
Which is fantastic. I mean,
good
of
idea.
course.
I don't know. There's something so brilliant about the core concept of the game.
Yeah.
There's not. If I think of, okay, I have a friend over, I have my fiance at home, and neither of them are gamers. What can I put on that, like, or even anything, like a bigger group of people, a spectrum? What can everybody play and kind of understand and get into quickly?
That's
Mario Party is one that I would consider. Monkey Ball, though, there's a depth to the gameplay, but it's also just a thumbstick.
it's rewarding enough that like when you're good at it, you feel good about it, but it's got that Nintendo rubber band effect, even just in its own design of like you can never be overwhelmingly good at it, like especially if you're
things.
It depends on what we're talking about here. Actually, I think not Monkey Fight. In almost every minigame, though, I could spank most people.
challenge accepted. Let's play Monkey Flight right now, or Monkey Target right now.
Monkey Target is one of my
It's the
strong
best.
points. For
Everyone
games.
loves
best.
Monkey Target.
But it was great because I have all of these retro game systems sitting around here, and it's one of those things where I always want to have my Wii U and my Super Nintendo and like everything always hooked up, but I don't really play anything outside of the main like newest consoles. But some friends were over. Some friends were over, and I had my GameCube hooked up, and we just took turns playing Monkey Ball 2, and 4 controllers, and it just cycles through everybody. But the single player game, it can be played just you take turns on different controllers, and everyone was having fun. That's one of the easiest games for my fiance to get into. We tried to play It Takes Two, and that game is a lot deeper than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
It's a lot of actual platforming.
yeah.
And using 2 thumbsticks, which is not Carly's strong point.
Hey, here's a controller. Roll your ball down this ramp.
It's in the age of when accessibility is a very hot topic and people are trying to embrace it. This is a game that I could have both arms broken, both hands broken, and still figure out how to play Monkey Ball 1. Which that is a brilliant, undervalued thing, I think, today.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's a game of like pure controller economy. It doesn't need to be anything than the one thing it has to be. But then the fact that they can make it entertaining.
It's a physics game, but it's also adorable.
So it is a little. People like to compare it to Marble Madness, say it derivates from that, and to an extent, it definitely does. But a lot of people do like to make the clarification that you move the stage and not the monkey. And I'm like, it doesn't make a difference to me. Either way, I still think about it as I'm moving the monkey and not the stage.
Yeah.
when I'm playing
Well,
the game,
anybody that's looking at the screen feels that way. Like, I get it. I definitely understand that there is a difference. But when you're playing the game, especially if you don't understand the game and you've just been handed a controller, you're just like, I'm rolling forwards instead of tilting the board backwards so that I move forwards.
Yes. So for those that might not have ever played Monkey Ball, first go play it. But the point of the main game, the challenge mode, or heaven forbid story mode, is you're on a stage and you have to roll your monkey through the goal. How you get there, the stages are all different. They eventually did add a lot more functionality to some of the stages, for worse or worse.
Definitely worse.
Almost always worse, but some stages have moving parts. Eventually, they did add some other things, but it's straightforward. You go down hills, you go faster. You can collect bananas for an extra life. You can jump over little areas if you have enough speed, but there's no jump button. You just you got to hit a bump.
Get it.
Or and incredibly simple in its design, but there's a lot of very fun, deep gameplay to be had there. So there's beginner mode, 10 stages, advanced mode, 30 stages, expert mode, 50. If you can complete beginner and advanced without losing a life, you unlock extra stages for those. And if you can beat expert all 50 stages and expert extra 10 stages without using a continue, you unlock master mode. And master mode is a very punishing.
I was going to say, bravo. I've not done that. It is a difficult game, as easy as it is to understand.
It's the definition of easy to pick up, hard to master.
Yes. Yeah, very much so.
And I think that is what a perfect arcade game is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Where it's not so difficult that people can't pick it up and do it.
It needs to be accessible.
Well, and
but
even
eat quarters.
Right. And then like even at like MGC, like seeing all these newer arcade cabinets that they were really trying to like push. I mean, obviously Killer Queen is not a new game.
Yeah.
But
we were at a staff party. It was amazing Killer Queen because we wanted to play 5 versus 5, but half of my coworkers have never touched a video game before. So eventually they just put me and like another person who knows about games as the queens, and then we just all of us took turns yelling at each other.
I think that was.
But that's a game
that's happened before.
Yeah, that's how it always goes. But that game,
you can easily understand it. The rules at first seem complicated with the snail, with the picking up the berries, but it's literally just a collecting game for the most part with some basic combat.
Yep.
And then it's just figuring out, it's delegating and it's like teamwork. But for the most part, infinite replayability, very simple concept. I wish that older games could actually be like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll say easily that I have an endorphin rush every time that I stand at the top of the monkey flight ramp. I legitimately like have that moment of just like joy of like I get to do this again.
and it's still as good as it used to be.
Is this the time to talk about mini games, or should we wait?
Not quite yet.
Let's wait.
So the concept for the original arcade game originally just involved a ball, and it didn't translate well to the movement. People didn't really engage with it. They kind of didn't understand seeing the ball roll. They tried a few different things. Someone then grabbed a monkey that Mika Kojima, someone in-house that she had designed. They just put the monkey in the ball and made the ears bigger. And they're like, that's it.
And that was I.
So that was I.
It makes you wonder why we can't just make games like this anymore. Everything has to be an over-bloated, like...
I mean, there's something to be said to that, of just like the purity of joy and fun versus storytelling and like...
And sadly, they don't really make arcade games that often anymore, at least major studios. Something that is instantly fun and accessible.
Yeah. I mean... The last arcade game that I saw made that got put out, honestly, is Cuphead. Like, Cuphead is an arcade game.
That is a beautiful game, too.
It's incredible, and it has so much more depth than any arcade game ever had. But that was the one game where I was like, oh my God, they straight up made an arcade game.
I'd love to see Cuphead in the arcade.
Honestly, that is that could be a killing in the making. If you do kind of there's the adventure mode, right? But then if you just did it as a series of
boss fights,
co-op stuff, that would easily win.
Quarter Muncher, talk about that. Continue.
Yep.
Super Monkey Ball. Then it was intended to be ported / enhanced to be a Dreamcast title. The Dreamcast was dying. So
sad.
No, I actually got one lined up that I'm going to buy.
Oh, it's still around? People are still buying Dreamcast stuff?
Yeah.
I still want one.
I actually do have a Dreamcast on the line. Folks, we went to MGC and I played a game that I have to own.
Typing of the Dead?
No. Dolphin Blue.
So, Super Monkey Ball took 10 to 20 people.
We'll touch on that later.
It says it took 10 to 20 people 2 to 8 weeks to create the GameCube game. Small team, small amount of time to create what is this game that I put hundreds of hours into. This game is very important as well. Dylan, if you're not reading about Super Monkey Ball, put the Game Pro down.
I'm literally double tap. Do you understand how ADD works?
You're looking at Okagi,
I was. I always wanted to play it when I was little.
Shadow King.
Okay.
But Super Monkey Ball for the GameCube is important for many reasons. This is the first Sega game published for Nintendo home console ever.
Yeah.
Which is weird when you say it out loud because your mind runs to everything else, but it makes sense.
Well, and I guess when I was this young, I did not know the significance of this.
Oh man.
I only knew that I liked Sonic the Hedgehog, and I saw, Sonic 2 is on GameCube. Okay. And that's how I was like, so now they're just doing it everywhere now.
And you're like, but they don't have Sally Acorn, so fuck it. I'm not buying it.
I said, I only read the Archie comics. That's
I
my
definitely
canon.
did get that bundle though of like the reason why I know that Super Monkey Ball is a thing is because I got the GameCube package where it was like I got Resident Evil 4 and that game or it was something like that. I was like really pumped about the other game. I can't even remember what the other game was.
Launch, there were 12 launch titles for the GameCube. Batman Vengeance, Crazy Taxi, Tarzan Untamed,
Yes.
Luigi's Mansion,
Luigi's Mansion was it?
Rogue Squadron 2, Wave Race
Yes.
Blue Storm, a Tony Hawk game, a
Wave
Dave
Race is
Mirra
good.
game, and 3 sports games. That was all that came out. That and Super Monkey Ball. And
Listen, they had us now beat. Let's put it that way. we cannot judge this time period because at least they gave us
They had
this is
a showing.
This is a banger launch level. You got
honestly
Rogue
they complained about it at the time.
Rogue Squadron 2, Luigi's
So
Mansion,
good.
and Super Monkey Ball.
So good.
Yeah.
And that,
Wave that Wave Race sequel was good too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be too excited about any of the other ones necessarily, but
No.
But Rogue Squadron 2?
that's great though.
I played way too much of that.
Well, and also GameCube had the distinction of having the best graphical fidelity, especially on a regular old ass tube TV.
The GameCube was the next generation of Dreamcast where it just kind of got like shit on for being released wrong.
It's also the fact that it wasn't a DVD player.
Yeah. That was
It's
that was
the
the
disc
big
size.
thing.
It's
They I don't know why they tried to do this stupid thing
well, they
where
it's Japan, man, and their weird things about theft even now. It's just so crazy. So
except that they sold the discs in the same size containers, so
Yeah, I
it
know.
didn't change the
nope.
the number of people though of stories that I've read or people that I talked
Actually,
to
in Japan, they were a lot smaller.
Oh, they
Just
were?
had to point that out. Yeah.
the number of people that say, "Oh, I got a GameCube at launch and I got a handful of games," just wound up playing Monkey Ball all night though. If you have a group of friends around, it is the instantly most accessible, most fun. All right, 3-player Monkey Target, let's do
Yeah.
it.
This should have been a Wii Sports phenomena.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It should have actually.
it kind of is Wii Sports for the game.
It is. It's like the
It's
immediate
just that it
accessible
wasn't
thing.
as
Even someone's fucking grandpa can pick up Monkey Ball, and that's supposed to be Nintendo's big thing. It's all about accessibility.
Yeah.
In fact, like if you didn't know Sega made it, you might assume that Nintendo made it.
I would have.
Yeah.
Easily. Like that's definitely the gameplay style. I would have even equated like the physics and like learning style of how the mechanics work to that like Mario 64 style of just like learning how the physics works.
Sure,
Like
yeah.
you get better as you know that.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's talk about mini games.
Oh man, I'm obviously Target is
Monkey Target, I think, is everyone's favorite here. Can we go around the room?
Yeah.
Probably,
Yes.
I mean, I would say Monkey
Period.
Target has the deepest gameplay. For the mini games.
they definitely put like equal amount of work into Monkey Target that they probably did the game.
I think you'd be surprised at how much they didn't do that though. Honestly,
Really?
this is probably just another mini game. They threw a bunch of things at the wall and the physics just lined up real nice.
I think it was. This thing is clearly inspired by Pilot Wings, especially like Pilot Wings 64.
Never played it. Is there a target landing game in that?
The whole game is about flying and shit.
About landing?
Yeah,
It's
flying,
that
landing.
like fly. Yeah.
It is baby's first flight simulator in a lot of ways, but there are a lot of like cool mechanics about it where you are tasked with landing on targets or jumping out of a plane and landing on a target with your character or flying a helicopter to a certain area and doing that stuff. But I think there was a clear kind of just like, we've already got these launching physics. And we can do
they have the
then,
gravity down.
And then we can do something with floating physics. And then that's all you have to do. Then it's just easy peasy, like it's a dart game, essentially.
Yeah. One thing that me and my friends always wound up doing was turning off hazards. Don't need to have extra spikes or like things on the target thing that
like
you can
that,
land on. I did like that I might be getting my monkey targets mixed up, but collecting bananas allows you to buy items.
Yep.
Magnet,
That was two.
I think it's in the first one as well. The first one, you get them in the air. You can run into the magnet, and then you have the magnet when you land. You buy the items in the second one, but you get your route and you master it. You know how to get the ×3, or you get all the stars, you get the multiples, and then you
The break.
grab a break ball or a magnet ball, and you fucking stick the landing. And I love that in the original one too. Everyone could go at the same time, so there's always like you bump into your friend before you go down the ramp. But then everyone, you can like knock someone off, which was great.
Yep.
Monkey Target, fucking great game.
No,
I would have bought the game itself.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
For a full 50, you would have dropped a 50 on that.
No, but
No.
if it was a $30 Monkey
Yep.
Target with like 5 other levels,
Yep.
Oh, that
something
would've
like
been
that.
all right.
Yeah.
Yep. Combine the two levels, so that's already 8 levels.
Yeah.
And then
Just throw a few other options in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a $30 purchase, I'd say, but
100%.
I don't think that they intended for Monkey Target to necessarily be the hero, because there's 6 mini games on there.
I do need to ask, did you ever land on the golden tiny panels?
Often and loudly.
Hell yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
I love that.
But you get like 2 or 3 stars, get the magnet ball, and you nail it. And then everyone's like, "Wow, Brad, you play this a lot, don't you?"
See, I did the even shadier thing of running out my time flying up as much as possible, so I slowly glided down. And I had about 10 seconds of gloating before I closed the ball and then you landed on top.
And then you forget to close the ball. So the ball's open, your guy just like wiggling on the ground dead.
And 0.
You know, I really got to call out EGM here, or GamePro. Sorry.
What's it say here, Dylan?
So we've got
we have the GamePro and the EGM in front of us with like the Monkey Ball reviews.
Right now, EGM this was just a preview, so this didn't say much, but the graphics 4.0.
Oof.
Now this game looked good at the time.
Still looks good.
Yeah, it still holds up.
It's stylized art.
Sound 4.
Sound of 4. That is a 6 out of 5.
I know.
I mean, the sound effects are all accessible and fun, but the music is where it's a banger.
Now here's where they really fuck up. Control 4.0. They complain about the camera. The perfect camera that actually magnets to you in the third person. It is not a bad camera control. In fact, adding it I found to be disturbing.
Yeah.
With Banana Mania. This is clearly just someone who didn't know what they're... But you want to know what? Fun factor, 4.5.
They'll give them that much.
Still wrong. Still wrong.
I don't...
It's easily a 5.
I think it's important to not carry hate in our hearts. GamePro, we forgive you for being that wrong.
This time.
You know what? Sometimes you're on a deadline.
Besides Monkey Target, Monkey Race, extremely forgettable.
Yeah.
1 to 4 player race across 6 courses. It was a bad Mario Kart knockoff.
It was an attempt at Mario.
But honestly, the fact that they can add something like that at little to no, like...
They threw it together.
It is playable. Mm-hmm. And I definitely did do it quite a bit.
And it's something that is accessible for non-gamers. But if you are a gamer, there's not enough gameplay there to engage me.
No.
Monkey Fight, very engaging.
Oh, heck yeah.
1 to 4 players, you punch them off a stage. You might get items like the big glove.
The big glove.
The most important, though, is the swirly glove.
Yeah, the spin.
yeah.
The spin glove, where you just like hurricane around and thwack them off. If somebody's next to you when you do that, they're gone.
They're gone.
They're
And yeah, Monkey Fight, very fun, very accessible. Monkey Billiards.
I actually liked it, but I just love pool.
Well, I think I mean,
I love pool too.
this is a great pool game.
It's a physics game, and it's also like teaches geometry a little bit. So
Honestly, there's nothing I would really want to change about it. As far as arcade, easy to understand pool games, it gives you everything.
Yeah.
You got the power, you got the aim, you can change the camera to see where your ball's going to go. It might be a little too easy for some people because you can see exactly where things are lining up. But
And in 2, you could put English on it, which
Yeah.
was amazing.
So
like that's an absurd thing for most kid games.
yeah,
Because like that is actually doing
and
degrees of angles and stuff like that.
and you can still play Monkey Billiards in every Yakuza game that has it because it's the same game.
It's the same
It
game.
is the exact same.
Also, 52 Clubhouse Games, the game that came out last year, almost 2 years ago. Golly. They have a pool game that's literally just this. That's one of the 52 games.
Yeah, and it's great. It's playable, and it has the best song probably on the Monkey Ball soundtrack.
The jazz.
Yeah, that jazz monk. Yeah,
Very smooth.
Yeah.
it's chill.
We'll put some of that in here right now. You're welcome. Monkey Bowling, another very fun game. It can be like we tried to play it and it was a little too fast for Carly to understand, but a fun pool game. It kind of reminds me of the Tekken Tag Tournament bowling.
I was gonna say my only critique was that it wasn't as good
yeah,
as Tekken Tag Tournament, but
but it's still great. And Monkey Golf, 1 to 4 player mini golf, which as far as a mini golf game, perfect.
yeah,
I love it.
this was the game that was designed to do that. They probably could have done more.
Anything with a
honestly.
fucking ball.
Like,
Go for it.
yep.
So yeah, Super Monkey Ball 1 came out in Japan September 14th, 2001 in North America. November 18th, 2001 launch titles for the system. We're not going to talk about the story for that one because there wasn't really any. There was if you looked in the Japanese manual, but we don't need to talk about that. Super Monkey Ball 2 came out for the GameCube in North America August 25th, 2002. So 9 months later, we got
Jesus
another
Christ.
one. But I mean, you got the bones.
I know.
They use the same-
skeletons there, yeah.
The same physics system, design new levels, add some new mini games, and that's what they're doing. So that is a very fast turnaround time, though.
Back then, though, not so much. The games came all
They
the
came
Final
out
Fantasy,
fast.
all like the holy trinity of Final Fantasy games came out
7, 8, 9.
that came out within like a year of each other.
Very fast, incredibly fast. When you think about
that is a real turnaround.
when you think about the turnaround
And,
from 10
well,
to 12 to 13.
The other idea is how much money that these games made and how well they were received. Yeah, that's an incredible feat.
You know what's disheartening is it took them 9 months to make Super Monkey Ball 2, and then they never made a game as good as Monkey Ball 1 or 2 again.
Yeah.
despite their attempts.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning. This is the last good Monkey Ball game.
Except for the one that's about to come out. About to come out or out now?
It's out, and it's bad.
It's bad?
they
Damn
changed
it.
it.
We won't talk about that yet. But,
You almost got a tear in your eye.
well, they had a
This
layup.
hurts the child in me.
Yeah, well.
Well, you want to hear about hurting the child in me. In Super Monkey Ball 2, Dr. Bad Boon an evil scientist. He steals all of the bananas from Monkey Island. Do you know why he does this? Because in the future, Mimi turns down his marriage proposal as she is a married monkey and already has a kid. So Bad Boon goes back in time. And Baby also is a time-traveling monkey. We didn't talk about that.
Baby is.
So
Baby
in
is
the original
Ai-Ai's.
arcade, there was Ai, Mimi, and Baby. And then they added Gon Gon because every monkey pretty much has their same syllable twice. But
Well, Gon was the leader of the
a rival
gorillas.
faction, the gorillas.
Yeah.
Yes. But Baby is a time-traveling baby monkey from the future that is Ai and Mimi's kid before they get together. And Bad Boon also travels back in time with henchmen to stop all of this from happening by stealing their bananas. They added a story mode is the point.
So
I'm trying to
Ai
make.
needs bananas to fuck?
I don't maybe if they're malnourished from not having potassium, Baby, like Ai couldn't fuck, and then Baby wouldn't exist. It was like a Back to the Future scenario.
Oh, he was fading out. And
Yes.
yeah.
And then he played Johnny Be Good.
So get a load of this.
It's a little too futuristic for you. It's called the jump button. Don't worry, your kids will love it.
Don't worry, your kids will love it.
Monkey Ball 2, by all accounts, though, is more of what you love.
The greatest.
I wouldn't say it's the greatest. It is contentious in some points. Monkey Ball 2 added... It didn't seem like some of the levels were as inspired because they added switches, they added portals. I don't mind the portals so much. The switches are a thing that is a little wonky. A lot more movement in the stages, where the stages actually have
It's a time
moving
factor.
parts.
That one is a 100%. If you put a timer on a level, putting the switch on the other side of the level immediately makes it feel more anxious and more like...
And it's nice that the stages can move faster or regular speed, because if you want to be a badass, it's fun to like, oh, I don't even need to go to play. I'll just go fast forward. And then you die 10 times and you swear to Dylan, like, I can do this. And Dylan's like, whatever, man. I'm like, I can do this, okay? And he's just sitting there reading the Monkey Ball art book.
Smoking
And
a
you did.
cigarette.
And
Blowing
you
it
did.
right in his face. Try it this way, bitch.
Yeah, new objects, wormholes, switches, and seesaws.
This isn't a fresh damage at all.
So Monkey Ball 1 had a total of 118 levels. Monkey Ball 2, a total of 140 levels. I would say, though, that, I mean, I absolutely still love Monkey Ball 2. And it's a little more, it's easier. It's an easier game because in Monkey Ball 1, you have 3 lives no matter what. You can use continues. But unless you can beat 60 expert and expert extra levels, you don't unlock master without 3 guys. And then Monkey Ball 2, you get play points and you can buy more lives. So 99 lives becomes much easier to not use a continue.
Right.
No, 100%.
Back in the day, me and my friends TK and Tommy and Ryan were all like pretty obsessed with this game. We played Monkey Ball a lot, and then there was another character in town called Old Kai. His real name is Matt Underwood, but he was the Monkey
Old
Ball.
Kai.
He was the Monkey Ball master, and I personally never got to master mode by myself in Monkey Ball 1. He was the only one, and we all copied his save files.
Yeah, but what about that?
Oh,
Listen, what about that time you guys heard there was a dead body in like a ravine or something, and you all went on a little trip to find it?
We found Old Kai, and he said, just forget about it.
Let's all stay inside and play Monkey Ball.
And he's like, guys, I just got to master mode. What the fuck? Who cares about this dead body?
I'd be the kid who's like, gotta see the dead body.
We were so obsessed with the Monkey Ball games back in the day. Right when Monkey Ball 2 came out, I was posting my level scores, like the scores and the times on a website. I forget the name. I was trying to look it up today. I was ranked 6th in the world on Monkey Ball 2 for a brief period of time. But
savage.
But that's like a lot of people hadn't uploaded their levels yet, and I was obsessed. Yeah, Monkey Ball 2 is great, though. They added 6 more mini games. Some things that didn't really change, though. Monkey Race, the same. Monkey Fight, the same. Monkey Target, largely the same. Billiards, bowling. With Monkey Golf, though, they did aim for real golf instead of mini golf. And it's great. It's just as good, I would say. You can switch between clubs, which is fun. And then they added mostly like 6 more mini games, things that aren't really that great. Monkey Tennis is fine. As far as tennis games goes,
but shit about it earlier.
Monkey Tennis is fine.
Mario Tennis is better.
Monkey Baseball is garbage. Monkey Soccer is garbage.
Yeah.
Monkey Boat Race is garbage.
Yeah.
Monkey Shot, serviceable. It's not bad for a multiplayer game.
It's all right.
Mostly garbage.
Yeah.
And Monkey Dogfight, hot garbage.
I didn't hate that one.
Yeah?
But that was mostly just because I was good at it while everybody else wasn't, so I had a lot of fun winning.
Yeah, they're all fine mini games. They're good enough to sit around with your friends and play a couple rounds in.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's all they really need to be when you're just throwing together. You already got a core game that's pretty fucking great, and then there's 12 mini games on top of it. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Hard to complain, but yeah. Sadly though, in one of my many moves I've had in life, I lost my memory card for my GameCube.
Oh no!
And also my copy of Smash Brothers Melee, which cost me $70 to replace.
That is actually a true loss.
And I had all of my replays from like 5 years of Monkey Ball saved on that. So that it haunts me to this day because I still don't have Master Mode unlocked on Monkey Ball 1 because I need to go back to old Kai's house and copy his save again.
Or
where do you think he's at?
Get good. But
Maybe, I would probably just, if I were back in Milbank, I'd go to his house and just knock on the door and he'd probably be like, "You've returned."
Welcome.
He's playing
smoke billows out of his front door.
He's playing Banana Splits on the Vita right now. Gotta love it. You gotta love it.
We love you, old guy.
We love you. We do. In 2002, there was a study performed over 3 years with 300 participants, and it found that surgeons who played Super Monkey Ball 2 and a few other games at the time for at least 6 minutes prior to operating performed better in a surgery simulation than surgeons that did not play.
Yep.
Which also, you're just doing a simulation, so maybe there's more of a video game, and gamers are better at games.
But the simulation is still about precision.
Yeah.
I mean, it also
Surgery's all about
has
precision.
something to say about actually, like...
It's also mental acuity. Yeah.
It's like paying attention to details and
Right.
like... I get it. There is like fine-tuned motion in a lot of video games, especially this type of one where it's a balance game.
Yeah. And definitely people that engage with their finer like coordination.
And motor skills, yeah.
Their motor skills more often will definitely do better. I think that was interesting, though, that Monkey Ball 2 proved a point. And...
I've been learning my balance. It's coming to
And surprisingly, that segue wasn't about Monkey Ball, but we are learning our balances nonetheless.
I was talking about Monkey Ball. I don't know what you were talking about.
We're going to take a stroll through some of the absolutely horrible shit that Monkey Ball did after Monkey Ball 1 and 2. And not all of it's horrible. I don't want to say that. A lot of it's fucking trash.
Most.
This first one isn't that bad. Super Monkey Ball Jr. came out for the Game Boy Advance in North America November 19th, 2002.
Junior. I was the dog's name.
It was one of the few 3D Game Boy Advance games. You'd use it's one of those things like you're using the D-pad and not a thumbstick. The A button and the B button would either increase your speed, or the B one would slow you down, so you could like do more precision work by holding the B button and pushing forward because you'd move slower.
And you played this?
I played it back in the day. Didn't have a chance to look into it at all before this, but by all accounts, it was pretty fine. It was a 3D monkey ball.
Well,
game
I was
on the
going to
Game Boy
say,
Advance.
just the fact that it was an actual 3D game on the Advanced is actually cool because they had to somehow figure out shading on the Game Boy Advanced.
Figured out all of that is impressive. And one thing that will hold true for almost all of these is even if the main game sucks, the mini games are generally going to hold up.
Yep.
So Junior had Monkey Bowling, Monkey Fight, Monkey Golf, and Monkey Duel, where two players both race to finish as fast as they can, collecting bananas, kind of just like the main game. But mini games hold up. You did need to, for Duel, have two Game Boys linked up with both games.
Still a pain in the ass.
Still impressive as shit, though, for that to happen. And that was supposed to be fine. And then Monkey Ball came out for the N-Gage, the Nokia N-Gage, October 7th, 2003.
I had a friend growing up who
Did they have an N-Gage?
swore to me, he's like, I'm getting the N-Gage. My mom is going to get it for Christmas. And I said, why? This game's looking
Got him.
This game's like fucking dog shit.
Well, you know what's... I was
like 14 at the time. It was like, of course.
14-year-old Dylan was actually right.
there were many
I'd love to play one though now.
baffling design decisions for the N-Gage, but when I was watching some gameplay earlier, it was so odd to me that the N-Gage's screen is vertical.
Yeah.
And Nick just kind of wanted to throw up in his mouth, it looked like, when I said that.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it was a vertical screen, and you actually had to remove the battery from the back to put different game cartridges in for your N-Gage. But this game looked like hot garbage. Don't play it. Monkey,
I don't think you can. I don't think it's physically possible.
if you have a Nokia N-Gage, you can. So it's not possible. Super
no one had that.
Super Monkey Ball Deluxe came out for the PlayStation
God,
2.
I kind of want to get one now.
I wouldn't mind holding one and having an experience.
that'd be
Play
nice.
Resident Evil 4
Maybe I'll get it for
on
the
the
dog
N-Gage
cast.
would be great. Super Monkey Ball Deluxe.
Would it though?
I'd like to play it.
I would like to try.
They ported Monkey Balls 1 and 2 into one package called Super Monkey Ball Deluxe for the PS2 and the Xbox. This came out March 15th, 2005. Every stage from the first two, as well as 47 new stages, a total of 310 stages.
Would you argue that this is a definitive edition then?
No, absolutely not. I'm holding my platinum hit Sonic Mega Collection Plus / Super Monkey Ball Deluxe, but one thing about the GameCube controller, which is very conducive to Monkey Ball, is it has the ridges in the
that
analog
hold your
stick.
grip.
Yeah.
So when you hold forward, you're going
Forward.
straight north.
Very
straight
forward.
That doesn't exist on the Xbox and the PS2. The PlayStation 2 version had a few differences. For some unknown reason, II's butt gets bigger when he is accelerating.
That's how I work.
That's great. But
Get
also,
swole. That's what that is, right?
All the juices nowhere to go.
the PS2 version only runs at 30 FPS. And Xbox One is 60. So if you are going to play either of them, Deluxe is great, but it's not as good as the GameCube. But get the Xbox One if you can. Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll came out for the Nintendo DS February 21st, 2006. What'd you say, Dylan?
I said, of course. I mean, the DS was the proving ground / place that they could try fucking anything.
Yeah.
And so this is one of those issues where Monkey Ball is such a simple concept. And that's why
And then they made it complicated.
we want to, well, it's a simple concept. Does it translate to touchscreen? Does it translate to Wii Balance Board? Does it translate to Wii Controller? Because it's so straightforward, they think this is the perfect game to make all of these versions of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God there wasn't a Donkey Konga version of Monkey Ball, which might not have been bad.
That probably wouldn't have been bad.
It depends on how they did it. But
When you said the Wii Balance Board, I
Clap to
immediately
move
thought
forward.
like, that actually has potential.
no, it would be you'd go faster. You can go right by hitting the right one more, left by hitting the left one more. Clapping would be a jump. You'd have to throw in a jump button. And essentially, you're just making a temple run, kind of.
Well, then honestly, then just play Jungle Beat because that's what that fucking game was. Yeah.
They could just reskin it and make more money.
And warning, I haven't played any of these Monkey Ball games until the very last one we're going to talk about.
I haven't either.
Yeah, the last one I played was 2.
Maybe we're really showing our hands here, but I can probably say beyond a shadow of a doubt that I wouldn't care to play these other ones.
There's one that I do want to play, which we'll get to.
All right.
But the Nintendo DS one, the touchscreen is your primary control. It also supports the D-pad if you want. 120 stages. By all accounts, the main game isn't great, but mini games, solid. Because
obviously,
mini games designed to be played with the touchscreen.
Yeah.
It's hard to fuck up simple mini games.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at the Mario 64 remake on the DS.
Yeah.
Most people ended up just booting it to play Cards with Luigi.
I like that. I didn't know that was a thing.
You didn't know?
I didn't really have a DS.
Oh.
Dylan, I'm still
Blind
cool.
Splots. Splots.
I'm still cool, Dylan, I promise.
Oof. Honestly, though, a 3DS is worth investing in just for like the collection of games.
I have my brother's 3DS now, but and I would like to play this. One thing that I don't want to play is what, from my experience looking into this, is everyone considers this to be the biggest stinker of the series.
Oh, boy.
Super Monkey Ball Adventure for the PlayStation 2 and GameCube. I'll let you guys look at the beautiful cover right there.
Dude, he looks ready to fuck some shit up.
And
I is down.
II is usually my favorite moon-faced boy who just wants to roll around and collect bananas.
But they had to DreamWorksify him.
He's very Americanized. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm a bitch now.
Yeah,
Well, it's so funny.
I got this.
It's like what they do with Kirby.
Yeah.
Like, they're like,
Kirby's a
well, boys
happy-
aren't going to want to play a cute game.
He's pink.
I
Make him
hate
look
that
badass.
so much because
do
he's
too.
also a personification of a black hole. He's the most terrifying character in anything ever.
And
So I liked the cute stuff.
And a scary, cute smile on a black hole is much more terrifying than the I'm a badass who shops at Hot Topic.
It's like, I'm definitely going on a very serious adventure. But when you play the game, like, he still has his regular eye shape, which is just it's like an elongated oval, and he's never angry. They're only when he's sucking in, only because he's trying hard.
Well, that's because he's a star child, and he's only like, a
He's
baby.
like a Lovecraftian nightmare. Yeah.
Yes, he actually is.
Speaking of nightmares, Super Monkey Ball Adventure was developed by Traveler's Tales. Generally, they make okay games, right?
Yeah. Traveler's Tales makes the Lego games now.
Yeah.
Really?
I've heard some people say this is the worst game that Traveler's Tales have ever made. This was surprisingly not released in Japan.
It was released here though. I have never heard of this game.
Sega wanted,
For a reason, probably.
Sega wanted the plot to be emphasized to make the game more accessible, because this is already not the most accessible game ever made. They're like, but why is I? Not play the game, but like, why is he there?
Brad, can you give me a plot
Because that was
synopsis?
the problem.
Okay. I actually didn't write this one down, so I'm going to just Google a plot synopsis
fine.
and read this live.
That's okay.
Oh, I love it. I'm so in.
Mimi, Baby, and Gon are barbecuing bananas on Jungle Island
Which is actually quite good.
when all of a sudden the alarm bells of the Tree Palace sound. King Junjun of Jungle Island tells them the sorrow and naysayers that have spread throughout the 5 kingdoms, brought on by Prince Abe of Monkeytropolis and Princess Dee of Kongrila's visit to the island.
Wow.
Once the prince and princess's identities are revealed, their true love for each other is as well. King Junjun and the Super Monkey Ball team work together to bring on the wedding of the year. But it's not easy. Monkeytropolis and Kongrila are great rivals, and before the wedding can happen, II and friends must help bring peace to them. If the game is 100% completed, a visit from II from the future will tell you how the monkeys are
Does he have a beard? I've looked this up.
He will tell you the monkeys are inside magic energy balls, which are invented by II and Gon from a later time period, which is the reason the monkeys have balls.
And these are the Super Monkey Balls.
Baby returns home with this version of his father. So you wanted the plot. I'm not going to read the whole story.
This is amazing.
There is also like 50 different monkey characters, and I looked through a lot of their like little character synopses or whatever, little summaries, but
No, this can't be right.
one of them jumped out at me. His name was Bong Bong. He is sick and tired of ringing the bells. His father rang the bells. His grandfather rang the bells. He wanted to be a singer.
I mean, all I'm saying is don't ring those bells, just sing.
Well, I mean, Bong Bong, he is just tired of having to do everything his fathers did before him. He always wanted to be a singer.
But he can carry on the tradition.
He's not. He's a sad
his
little monkey.
voice.
He's a sad little monkey just ringing the bells. Dylan, you look upset about something.
It's the design of Future II, which really okay. I have,
Oh, wow, that's a lot. That's a whole bunch.
okay.
Yeah, no, I'm out on it too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I was expecting a grizzled II.
Yeah, I was
he's wearing a helmet, but his ears are outside of the helmet. So,
But he's not wearing a helmet because his face is a TV screen.
well, that's because he's actually a robot.
But he's
the whole time.
oh my god.
So this added like a world you explore, and there wasn't a jump button yet. You'd have to roll around, talk to characters, get tasks, roll up to the top of the volcano, roll over there, because that's all you fucking do is you roll. And then you talk to characters.
Wait, what?
You talk to characters like June and Bong Bong,
Bong
Abe
Bong.
Abe, and DD.
Wait, there's like a whole hub area a la Sonic Adventure style
Yes.
where you go and talk to.
Yeah.
No,
That's
Oh, you mean
horrible.
Station Square?
That's actually a really good comparison because it looks a lot like that.
Yeah, that was the like immediate image that was brought up into my mind. It was just like, oh, you go and like have to deal with these mechanics.
And even all of this would have been acceptable to me if the monkey controlled well and there were still cool levels.
There is something to this idea of making an adventure game with the monkey ball mechanics.
As long
and I
as-
think it could fucking work.
As long as the monkeys control well and the levels are fun, I don't mind rolling around a hub world and talking before going to do 10 levels. That's fine.
So this might actually be Dylan's recommendation zone. I'm going to do a quick recommendation. If you like physics games and you like ball related games,
Come to Dylan's house Saturday nights.
Heyo. No, there's a game called Yoku's Island Express, which is essentially like a pinball game with an adventure built into it. I would love to see a monkey ball game that had an adventure mode because
They have them, man. They have tons of them now.
they do.
This is Monkey Ball Adventure.
Just not good.
Yeah.
I want a good one.
The preface of all of this is it needs to be done well.
This didn't have the same physics engine, which has been the major problem since the number 2, but it's the same physics engine from Crash Twinsanity, from what I read.
Oh, gross.
Gross indeed. So, Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz came out for the Nintendo Wii. This was November 19th in 2006. This was directed by Nagoshi once again, and this was a launch title for the Wii. So this is supposed to be a return to form for Monkey Ball. This was them showing like, all right, we still got it. We brought Nagoshi back, who created the series, and it uses the Wii remote, and everyone loves it when a game does that, unless you're Mario.
Using it as a joystick.
Or maybe like that'd have been great if there was a banana attachment to the Wii. You put your thing inside a banana.
It's just a banana.
One of my life's greatest regrets, sorry for the side tangent, is not getting the chainsaw controller from Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah.
That should be one of your regrets.
It's one of my biggest regrets, and also not getting the slime controller
For
for
Dragon
Dragon
Quest?
Quest. Yeah.
That one I could skip. Yeah, but this was a launch title for the Wii.
I get it.
And
It's fine.
people were ready to give it a chance. 100 main levels, 50 mini games, which is a fuck ton of mini games.
Yeah, it is.
Now, I imagine a lot of those mini games are probably pretty good. If you have 50 of them, Party Babies had a few good mini games.
Still upset you guys played Party Babies without me.
But so I mean, the problem was
I've got like a dead Party Babies disc at my house, and I look at it every day, and I just go, "Oh, you can't read this?
Imagine Party Baby.
How dare you?
It was a
I've
fine
got
game.
3 controllers too."
But this, okay, so you control your monkeys by, you're turning the remote.
Oh,
You're like-
it's a forward-facing one. It's not like a joystick.
I believe it's like this.
Oh, that's wrong. If they wanted to do it, it should be holding it like this, like a joystick.
Yeah.
No, and that's not it. It's this.
Upright and
Well,
down.
if I were the designer, that would have been my immediate choice.
And then also, it added the jump button for the first time in the series, which is an absolute. It turns it from one style of game to another. Imagine Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, but with a jump button. Like it's
Gross.
It wasn't designed with that in mind.
Yeah.
And
You played Captain Toad?
I love it. I love Treasure
good,
Tracker.
good.
Great game. I
I
played it on the Wii U though. I haven't played it
I
since
did
then.
too. It's actually the new one is really quite good.
There's a new villain. Dr. Bad Boon is out. Now they have Captain Krabuchin.
What?
And this says Dylan loves design. Okay, Dylan's looking up Captain Krabuchin. There were also 8 boss battles, which when I think about something that needs a boss battle, I think about not Monkey Ball.
like not at all. Monkey
How do you spell
Ball.
Krabuchin?
C-R.
I've already got it.
How,
We're good.
Okay.
How do you beat a boss in Monkey Ball? Do you jump on its head? Like what?
Oh, well, you have a jump button, so you can jump on heads. You jump into a belly button. You avoid attacks.
No, I hate all of this.
I don't hate the
Krabuchin.
I don't hate the general idea because it's a monkey who has like 2 hook hands that are like crab things, and Capuchin is a monkey.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's still still uninspired, and he doesn't even look like a Capuchin. That's the biggest problem. Whatever.
I love you, Dylan.
So we are going to do rapid fire mobile games. There are 5 of them. Tip and Tilt, Super Monkey Ball iOS version, Tip and Tilt 2, Super Monkey Ball 2 iOS version, and Super Monkey Ball Bounce, which came out in 2014, which is a bad version of Peggle. I will say I played one of these today.
I like Peggle.
Peggle.
No, I played Super Monkey Ball Sakurai edition, which is, I don't know if it's Super Monkey Ball 1 or 2, but it's almost a new segment, which I'm thinking of starting, which is Does It Mobile? And there is a mobile game. I recently played Final Fantasy VII.
No.
I played Final Fantasy VII First Soldier, and there's a near one as well. But I did play the Monkey Ball mobile, and it was actually fine. You control all of the monkey by tilting the controller, and it works pretty well. So those are the mobile games. Not much to talk about. Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll came out for the Nintendo Wii February 9th, 2010. This was, of course, using the balance board, which actually makes the game suck more. That's it.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
But can you imagine the workout?
I would also.
How much it fucks up your feet, though?
I genuinely would want to play a Monkey Ball game with the balance board because I think it'd be fun.
Super
for
Punch Out.
about 15 minutes, but then it would not be fun.
Punch Out for the Wii without the balance board feels like an incomplete game. I don't really like the Punch Out series because I think it's kind of boring to just dodge and blah, blah, blah. But when it's actually a physical thing that I was doing, I loved that balance board. Implemented right in there, it was so good.
And it's a nice accessory piece to a lot of games because if you can use a controller and also like have a balance functionality, it's not a bad piece of technology by any stretch. It's very cool when it's used right, but when it's poorly implemented, like Step and Roll, this was directed by.
It's also a really bad title.
Yeah.
If your title is literally just the gimmick,
It should have
you
been.
already know it's a bad game.
It should have been Super Monkey Ball Rollin', and then Limp Bizkit could have been a playable character.
Limp Bizkit himself.
Yeah.
Roll.
Fred, it's not Fred Durst. It's Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, it's the Limp Biscuit, and it's just a biscuit.
It's just a soggy biscuit bouncing
I
around.
I
inside of a ball.
love that idea. That's like
Honestly,
the
I would
greatest
make
thing
that game
ever.
tomorrow. Can we get money from Fred Durst to make a video game?
He's gotta
He
be.
would make so much money off.
Oh, yeah, he would.
Sorry, I'm doing a Google. Video games featuring Fred Durst. Okay, I found an article. Wow,
Snap
Fred
into
Durst was in a lot of video games.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Oh man, we got to have a whole episode about this.
Fred Durst episode.
Yeah.
He was a playable character in WWF SmackDown.
Can we make that a series?
Sure, yeah.
That would be hilarious
yes,
if
it
we
would.
just like deep dive one voice actor or whatever.
Now finding everything to play, like we can't just talk about it and not.
He was
play it.
also.
Well, yeah.
He was a
We
part
would
of.
have to do some.
He was a part of Fight Club and a Raw game as well.
Wow.
All right. Step and Roll wasn't great, but it was directed by Jun Tokuhara, which he became the director for the Monkey Ball series for a while here. But they did have an arcade game that came next, Super Monkey Ball Ticket Blitz, which used a trackball to play Monkey Ball.
That actually sounds all right.
That sounds awesome.
You win tickets
Like-
from
Trackball actually works. Yeah,
from everything I saw. It looks pretty good.
Hopefully, it
but you kind
would
of
roll
hold it
the
like
way
this.
you would have to roll the way that you roll on it.
So it's not even controlling. I'm actually picturing it where you keep your hand on it and you're controlling the level by actually moving the level.
It's like a
yeah.
It's like
I
a
would
one of
assume
those?
You're
Oh.
running a trackball.
yes.
I'm sorry for having a better idea.
I agree, but that's just a
I know.
joystick.
Yeah, I know.
Up,
But it's a ball.
up next was Super Monkey Ball 3D for the, you guessed right,
3DS.
the 3DS.
Wow.
Very good. Very good.
Wait,
Thank you. I'll bow.
hot?
Yeah, I know. Came out in 2011, March 27th, directed by Jun
Wow.
Tokuhara again.
Okay, yeah. This was the era of awful 3DS games. The 3DS had just come out
Yeah.
and nobody wanted to fucking play it.
Time to slap some paint on the wall.
Time to settle with steel divers.
So I'm not familiar with what we're talking about here.
Okay, so the
The
release
3DS sucked for a while?
the 3DS sucked for a long while.
Okay.
This is actually
Real
one
bad.
of Nintendo's greatest comebacks because they assumed that everyone was going to love the 3DS. They did not. And the release games were what, like Street Fighter 4, Ultra,
even
Steel
tell you.
Divers, Nintendogs, and Cats, I believe.
Nintendogs
Yeah.
and Nintendo.
Yep.
It was just called Nintendogs and Cats. It wasn't two games. It was one game.
Yeah, because that was
And they
was
just
Nintendogs.
they didn't have like the shit about. Do you want to know why I remember this so well? Is because that's when Pokemon Black and White came out. And I was in a GameStop and I tried playing a 3DS and I said, this sucks.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason why I got a 3DS was so I could keep on playing Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Like straight
That's
up,
literally
that was
the
the only reason why I
So
bought
I
that
only
console.
bought one too to keep playing Pokemon.
Well, one of the major problems with Monkey Ball, one of the major problems with Monkey Ball Step and Roll was they had to make the levels frustratingly easy because there's bumpers on everything, and it was tough to play. So they wanted people to be able to keep playing.
Sure.
The problem is though with Monkey Ball 3DS, Monkey Ball 3D, is they made the levels as easy as Step and Roll when you actually had a good controlling system. So this level is supposed to be frustratingly simple and easy. This game. The last new game that has come out in Monkey Ball came out for the PlayStation Vita, and it's called Super Monkey Ball Banana Splits. It came out 2012, August 23rd.
It was a Vita game.
This is the one. This is the one game I want to play.
It's supposed to be good.
It's supposed to be pretty good. It's got a level editor, but it's not a regular level editor, so it's fucking weird. Let's say you have an object. You take a picture of it with your PS Vita.
Get the fuck out of here.
It interprets what it thinks it looks like and makes
Creates
a
the geometry?
It creates no kind of sometimes.
I wish I had kept my Vita. I swear to God, I shouldn't have sold it. I had the
You
OLED
should not
model.
have. They're not going to make those things anymore.
That OLED model was so beautiful.
But it would interpret what it thought it saw and make a level kind of that looks like it. It looks cool though, but it's got a form of a level editor, and you can use the joystick or motion control. And developed by Jun Tokuhara again, but this game is supposed to be the best Monkey Ball that has like come out since 2. As far as like what the levels and how it plays,
shit.
honestly, I'd really like to get my hands on it. but
Damn.
there was a very strange cross promotion for this game. In Japan,
promo.
one of the pre-order bonuses was
She said yes.
a Super Monkey Ball level that actually featured a set of boobs from a real model that you could roll over her boobs. I heard
It's kind
this,
of a launcher. That's kind of cool.
It's a jump, and in the background, instead of beautiful landscapes, it's just flat pictures of her looking at you and her boobs. This was something that they offered as a promotion material, and it just happened. It didn't come over here. Dylan, what are your thoughts?
I love it. I think it's great. What do you think? What do you mean? Like, am I supposed to have thoughts beyond the fact that it's like a shameless promotion for people who love arcade style games
and boobs?
That is
now here's the thing. This is actually
pinnacle
perfect.
Japanese marketing.
Yeah.
Well, it's that, but it's also the idea, and not to even be too stereotypical about the people who might like these kind of games, hard to master, easy to start. They're not exactly like, if you get really good, I'm sorry, if you're really good at video games, sometimes I do have the perhaps misguided opinion that maybe you don't know how to talk to girls.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I do still have that. The target demo are the people who would like something like this, because it's just like, oh yeah, perfect. They understand what age the people are.
No,
Like,
it is the finest
the people with
level
disposable
of
income.
targeted marketing I have seen.
It's disposable income. It's literally what their interests might be outside of video games. And then it's got to get those otakus. Because I'll be honest with you, I've thought a million times about getting a mouse pad that had boobies on it.
Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD was announced. People were absolutely pissed about Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD because people wanted the original Monkey Ball games. Just fucking re-release them. That's what we want. And they said, well, we're getting Banana Blitz. If you want more Monkey Ball, you better buy this one. So, which seems like a real fuck you tactic, which people bought it. I didn't.
It's Sega.
It featured Sonic the Hedgehog, and it was just more of the same. You could play it without the shitty Wii remote if you want.
Well, my thing is, like, I would just love to have it. I would love to have this game on like an accessible console that I can put the controller in the hands of newbie gamers.
Sure.
Because I'm trying to raise some of those now.
Just adding a jump button makes the game so much less accessible compared to move the stick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like, stop thinking about it. Just go in the direction you need to. If
joystick-
if you messed up, you messed up.
The joystick's an Atari system back in the day. That's all it is, just a fucking stick.
I think they had two buttons. It was joystick, two buttons.
No, it was one button.
One button?
Mm-hmm.
The old
I
ones,
actually
yeah.
got, my mom dropped off my Atari 2600.
So we were all frustrated.
It was not because I wanted it.
We were all frustrated for a very long time, and then we were watching. What were we watching when they announced Banana Mania? What was that?
Were we doing an E3?
Was it E3?
Oh, yeah, no, that was...
They announced
Or it was like a state of play or something weird.
They announced Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania for the PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbone, Xbox Series X, and I pre-ordered it during the announcement.
You almost stuck your tongue down all our throats. You were so happy.
I was, because
You were torqued.
It was the original Monkey Ball 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. It was a faithful, loving recreation with all the games, and it's just all in one package, which is all anyone's ever wanted, and it sucks. It's not that good. Now, the problem is they don't have the same physics engine that
They do not.
the original games were in. And Dylan, please describe your experience when you came over today and you played Monkey Ball Banana Mania first. Tell us about it.
So I played Banana Mania first, and at first glance, this is not bad.
Hello, 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 banana. Super Monkey Ball! Looking up, it's like the sky is going. Never taking you, so fuck your maybe getting tired. Too many eyes up there watching over you, and there is no way I can hide away. I am full with all the breakfast.
The controls are not awful, and that's maybe the first only glowing thing I can say about it, besides the visuals, which look pretty good as well.
Because you were like, yeah, it's a nice looking
Like, all
package.
right. I'm like, oh, look at this. Like the menus and the screens, like everything was very visually attractive. And then I'm playing the game, and there are some levels where I'm fucking up, and I'm fucking up bad. And I know I'm not awful at these games, and it kind of hurt my feelings a little. And I'm just like, Brad, this one, I'm just done. Like, I literally handed it off to him, like, you beat this level. Like, you show me how to do it. Like, to get it off my fucking, you know. And then...
And I did, even though this game sucks.
Yeah. And then threw in Super Monkey Ball.
I threw in the original GameCube one.
And
which
I
you
played it
the
on a
same-
Wavebird.
You played the same levels that were in Banana Mania, then you played the same ones on the
I
GameCube.
did, and not even with not even knowing at first. But I get in there, and suddenly I'm just like, oh shit. Oh yeah,
You're cooking through a lot.
It's all here.
You know where
it's all fucking here. I know how to tilt the stage back so that I don't roll off an edge, and
There's so much better. It's so different.
It's almost, I could describe it as the first Monkey Ball isn't like an extremely forgiving game, but compared to Banana Mania, it is very forgiving.
Well, it's not even
It
forgiving.
cares. It cares about the physics of the. So it's the ledges.
Yeah.
And I found that out pretty quick. It is, you are able to bounce back a little further if you know how to jimmy the screen a little bit. With Banana Mania, it's literally like I was Kazuma Kiryu in a fucking ball, and I fucking flew off a million times. But I did the same level on the other Monkey Ball, and I just
got it first try.
I was like, no, I understand this.
Well,
Yeah,
and,
I get this.
and it's just the ball doesn't control the way it's supposed to.
No,
And-
it doesn't. It doesn't have weight, and I think that's how I'm going to describe it.
And I think one of the big problems is the camera, because Banana Mania adds a camera, and the camera doesn't.
controls.
I mean, it doesn't function. You can not use it, but it doesn't work the way it's supposed to, and everything feels kind of slippery and slidey. And it started off subtle at first. And I remember reading reviews, people were saying it's not that bad once you get used to it. But to me, if you pick this game, any of the GameCube games up, the original two, and compare it, it's immediately 1-to-1. Like, no, it's not the
That
same.
was like a particular thing about Monkey Ball, was that it was sticky. Like it. Yeah, well, and I'll go back to Monkey Target for this, because that's the one thing that I genuinely played. I put more hours into Monkey Target than any other thing. If I pulled back on it, my ball stopped. It like even the bounce.
Oh, you would hate Monkey Target.
Monkey Target doesn't play the same.
It actually
it
doesn't.
would drive me up a wall.
You actually have to hold the stick back a little bit to go
to
neutral.
glide properly. Yeah. Yep.
Nope.
It expects you to have enough. It expects you to have enough pullback. And now, can we blame this on the engine, or
It is partially the engine. I mean, if anything, the
but
engine's different,
somebody
and they
had to
should have
change
taken
it.
more time to fix it and make it work. But
well, they had to unify it, and I can agree with that. I can say, like,
is that a term to like make things work in the Unity engine? Is that
no.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
No, I was saying that there are multiple games in the Banana Mania collection.
That was amazing.
It should have been awesome. We could do that, but they all had to make them kind of play the same.
Yeah.
And I feel like there were a lot of choices that were being made that maybe at the end of the day were detrimental to it rather than helpful, because if you change the physics in a physics game
Well, that's the
that
whole
people
thing.
already liked, well, I mean, the game is how it controls.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is kind of incidental, even though I probably will say this too. I'm sorry, the visuals and everything looked better in the GameCube version. It was less glossy. It was less gross. The outside
the music was better.
The music too. The outside environments. Yep.
Really?
And it's
That's the only one that I'm surprised on.
but no, we're talking about the original GameCube ones have everything better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the music in the GameCube is phenomenal. But this is a nice package, though. If like I see what they were going for, and if the gameplay, if the monkeys controlled the way you expect them to, this would be a 10 out of 10. The problem is they don't And so what they also included, after you get enough points, you can turn on the jump button, which is an option. And there's also helper function. They don't
jump button?
They turn on a jump button, but there's also helper function, which they don't penalize you to like, all right, you need some help, turn it on. And you can go into slow motion mode, and you can also like jump. And the only way I got through master mode on both of those 1 and 2's versions on Banana Mania is by using helper function. And
It's the only way to play the game.
and it's not fun. I mean,
Why do you think they included it though? This has to be them acknowledging that they fucked up.
Well, I don't know if they just tried and they couldn't get it to work on Unity, but I don't know enough about the Unity engine.
I don't know enough about development either.
It whiffed. This did not do what they were intending for.
You were so jazzed about it too.
That's because
I was excited about it as well. When I saw it at the release,
You thought it was still coming out.
I
so.
still have the vinyl record coming.
That's fair.
And that's before I heard the
I've
soundtrack.
also been distracted.
And I'm like, oh no, I just wanted the original Monkey Ball songs. The new ones aren't bad. And
You'll still probably.
nothing is that. If the game had the simple physics of the first one, then this would be 10 out of 10. Everything else is great. The presentation, it's not as visually appealing like you had said as the originals, but to me, it's like fine. It's good. It's fine.
Serviceable is a word.
And sadly, Banana Mania does not hit the mark. There are some new things that they add, which I do think are cool ideas, such as reverse mode, where they have a certain number of levels where the end and the start are swapped. Cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Rotten Banana, where you can't touch any of the bananas, and they have certain levels that they do for
You
that.
gotta try and dodge rather than collect.
I like some of that. And they do add new characters, which is fun. Sonic and Tails, which you collect rings. Kazuma Kiryu, you collect Toriners or Staminens. I forget what it is, but Beat from Jet Set Radio, you can collect
Cans? Or the one?
the spray paint cans.
Yeah.
Morgana, we all know her. She collects treasure boxes. That is a purchase, though. Morgana, Hello
great.
Kitty, and Suezo from Monster Rancher are all purchases.
The little one-eyed butt monster.
The one-eyed butt monster, yes.
Okay.
And then also, you can get the Sega consoles as well. Kind of like how in Phantasy Star Online, you can get little Sega consoles that be behind you as your things.
Oh.
It's just a Game Gear floating inside of the ball, which I don't think it looks that great. But
Yeah, that's stupid.
yeah, it is stupid. But $5, that's all it costs.
Only.
Do you guys have any other thoughts on the Monkey Ball series?
I believe I've expressed myself pretty much as I got with this. I like this series.
10 out of 10 for like a party game, especially a game to introduce other people, like non-gamers, into the atmosphere.
Sure.
It's totally one of those things that, like you guys both said, of just like, pick up a controller. Just try it. Have
Gotta
fun.
go for it. Yeah.
I'm just going to read from Monkey Ball 2's guide. This is the main character, Ai, the hero of this game. He loves bananas so much that he always spends his carefree time thinking, the banana I had today was really good. Eat bananas, and he'll be in high spirits, able to overcome any hardship. Chanting a magical spell, poo, he starts his adventure with Monkey Ball. And that's how I live my life.
Just chant.
I just
Think
go
about banana.
poo, and I just think, man, that banana I had today was delicious.
I mean, really, it's only a different song for me, and it's just the DK rap.
Yeah. Yep. I'm surprised Donkey Kong didn't make it into the Switch version as a character.
Honestly.
Also, Seth Rogen doesn't like GameCube games.
How does he laugh?
Reached out on the Discord. Phil E said this about the game. I don't keep up with the series much after the first one, but Super Monkey Ball was a GameCube system seller for me. I would have bought it for Monkey Target alone.
Yep.
But the main game and Monkey Bowling also got a lot of play. I remember friends at the time talking about how cool the new Call of Duty was. When I told them I had been playing a game called Super Monkey Ball, they laughed hysterically. Their loss. And you're right.
Yeah, no, 10 out of 10. Awesome review.
Stadium Frank from Super RPG Friends writes in, love those damn games. And we agree with you on the first two, Stadium Frank. Yeah. Monkey Ball 1 and 2 are some of the best GameCube games in my opinion. I put Monkey Ball 1 up there as top 10 for sure. I'd throw Monkey Ball 2 in myself probably.
Which target is better?
I probably played
One or two?
I probably played 2 more, but I will beat you in both.
Ooh la la.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge enjoyed. But yes, I have extremely fond feelings about these 2 originals, and sadly they have missed the mark with Banana Mania. Just today in the news, though, the director Masao Shirasaki, who directed Banana Mania, said he wants to make a 3rd one. Fuck off unless you can get the physics right, but I will give you a chance. I'm not going to buy it day one, though, because Banana Mania is already $20, and I feel like I wasted $20.
You only paid 20 for that?
No, I paid 40. To me, it's a $20 purchase still, even though it doesn't play right. Just the mini games are fun enough. It's like some of them are good enough. Monkey Bowling, Monkey Pool, those are fine. Monkey Golf, still playable. You have both mini golf and regular for this. But excited to talk more about Toshihiro Nagoshi and Yakuza, because what do you do after you make Monkey Ball 2? You go make Yakuza games.
An epic crime drama.
Regardless, you get a lot of plastic surgery before you make that epic crime drama, because
Obviously.
you don't just start making Yakuza games without having a self-image change. But we've been the Raw Dogs. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Hair the Dogcast. We're on Twitter at Hot Dogcast. Support us on Patreon if you want. There's a lot of great tiers and options there, and we'd love to have you join our Discord, which is a great place for a lot of wonderful people. And we'll be back for a very Yakuza Christmas next time, where we discuss the Yakuza series.
Yakuza.
Arigato gozaimasu in extreme detail. And yeah, very excited to talk about that. I've been Brad, and go get in a ball and get some bananas, because they taste delicious, the one that I had today. And Dr. Bad Boon ain't going to take my future wife. The balls tasted good, yes.
Perfect.
And the bananas.
I'm Dylan, and I don't know, man. You get it.
Yeah. Love y'all. Have a wonderful December, and be merry.
Or don't.